Live. Hey guys, sorry, we're live all over. I'm just getting all three feeds set up right now. I'm live right now on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. It's a little confusing. I never did this before, so bear with. I just want to talk about Star Wars, a solo movie. Hopefully, let me know if the audio on YouTube, if you're watching this, is on the Food That Kills YouTube, if you want to watch that right now. So basically, sorry, 1 second, guys. I just want to talk about Star Wars, a solo movie, or Solo, a Star Wars movie. I thought it was great. It was phenomenal. Yeah, I don't know if anyone saw that yet, but I'm usually a person. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, guys. I'm the person who usually goes see movies when they first open up, right? So it was really, really refreshing and weird for me not to see this movie because I wasn't really excited, to be honest. Now, if you guys don't know me, let me introduce myself. I am John DeMarco. I don't know how to explain this, but I'm a big fan of movies. Love seeing movies. I own over 365 movies at the moment. Yes, I did a count today. I figured out how many movies I have, and I just love watching movies. Let's just be honest. And oh my God. So this movie was the best Star Wars film I have seen to date. And I've seen them all. And what was great about this movie was everything was perfect for me. As a viewer, I thought it had everything that I was looking for in a Star Wars film. I think this was a hell of a lot better than the Last Jedi. I think the Last Jedi, even though people are like, "Oh, it was good, it was bad," I thought I didn't like it. I felt very empty from the Last Jedi. I felt very, what's the word I'm looking for? I just felt. You ever go to Burger King? Let me explain this to you. You ever go to Burger King and you get a Whopper, right? And you're like, "I'm really hungry. I want this Whopper. It's gonna fill me up." And you eat the Whopper, right? And then you just go, "Shit. This Whopper did not fill me up at all." And it's like, why did I go to Burger King? And that's what the Last Jedi felt like. Now, today, going to this, I felt like I was at all-you-can-eat sushi buffet. I had everything I wanted: comedy, drama, action, adventure, everything that made a great Star Wars film to me, personally. Everyone's going to be different opinions. I know we're all going to be like, "Oh, well, I didn't like it either, but I mean, what are you talking about, John? I don't know. You're crazy." But opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one, but I want to share my opinion with y'all because I like this film, and I don't say that much. And on top of that, like I said, I typically go to the films that I want to see opening night. I will go. I went Thursday to Infinity War. I went Thursday to Deadpool, even though I was supposed to go later. Sorry, Mark. And every movie I want to see, I try to go opening night or the night before it opens, technically. And again, this movie did not really get me excited and happy to see this. I was like, all right, whatever. I'll see this probably like second night, third night. I went Sunday. That's like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 4 days, let's say, after the fact. And what was it? This movie was, again, I can't really, hi, Mike. I'm sorry, I'm talking to Instagram. So again, I apologize. I am talking to 3 different social media aspects right now. So if you don't want to watch, and if the audio is not great on Facebook or Instagram, please go to youtube.com/foodthatkills to watch it. And hopefully there's better audio. So basically what I'm saying, where I'm at, Mike, I just saw Star Wars, a solo film. I don't know if you're watching it. And again, great movie. Loved it. Thought it was the best Star Wars film hands to date, besides The Empire. Might be still better, but this is right now, because my initial reaction, just reaction to everything that I've seen, it was the best Star Wars film. Again, there's a setup for a sequel, and by the way, everyone, this is going to have spoiler material to it as well, so please be prepared. And I would like a discussion too. Also, if anyone is watching this right now, please comment, show me what you want to. If you saw it, tell me what you thought. Also, I want to read the comments. I know it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock East Coast time, so no one's really up. But if you are, please, let's have a discussion. I would love to hear your thoughts. On top of that, too, let's go back to where we're at. So again, we are talking about Solo, a Star Wars film, and basically, so like I said, I wasn't really jazzed about this film to begin with, and seeing the first trailer and second trailer, I was like, oh, all right, it's cool. And the guy who played Han Solo, oh my God, I'm blanking out on his name. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to check it out right now on another browser. Give me a second, everyone. I apologize. I'm gonna have some stuff up there. I'm gonna have the wiki up. Okay, let's see. Sorry, bear with. Okay. Alden Ehrenreich. Yes, I believe that's how you pronounce the name, Alden Ehrenreich. He plays Han Solo. Yeah, you have to get over the fact that it's not Han Solo. It's not Harrison Ford. But seriously, this guy brought it today watching this film. He was great. I really appreciate his work, which I saw his first movie, Hail Caesar. If anyone has not seen that movie, please go see that movie by the Coen brothers. It is a great movie, Hail Caesar, and you should all see that. But side note to that side fact, Alden, I can't now say the last name. I'm blanking out. But he was a great Han Solo. I thought he did a great job. I don't think the flack he got from people on the internet before he was casted or after he was casted is now justified, and he is a good Han Solo. I would love to see him come back as Han Solo again in the sequel, which I hope to God they make, because this really expands the Star Wars universe in a way, I should say, because how this ends can branch off into many different things. How Rogue One branched into everything. It doesn't. Well, Rogue One doesn't branch. It just interludes into 4. It just goes into 4. So there's no real like oh, we can't branch into this, that. There's no real sequel for that movie. There's a real sequel for Solo, and Solo can also spin off to the Obi-Wan movie that everyone wants to see. Yes, I said it myself. The Obi-Wan movie will be happening, I think. This is finally the time because you brought back Darth Maul. Yes, I said it, Darth Maul. Yes, Darth Maul was in this movie for a split second. I am sorry, that is a spoiler, and I hope you don't get mad at me. I blanked out for a second. I'm sorry. It is late at night. It is 1:17 in the morning, West Coast time, 3:17 in the morning, 4:17 in the morning, East Coast time. But basically, oh my God, it was a great movie. Ron Howard did a great job. I know he took over for film, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who originally directed this. And they must have reshot this whole friggin' film, because there was not one thing that made this film funny. Because apparently the first reports of this movie were that the team of Phil Lord and Chris Miller were making this more of a comedy, and they were making that Han Solo look like Ace Ventura, which he did not look like Ace Ventura at all. Alrighty then. A great job again from everyone who was in that film. I thought Bradford Young did a great job as cinematographer. I really love his movies. I love what he does. If anyone has not seen a Bradford Young movie, I highly recommend this one, because he has a great eye. He has great composition. He has great everything. Like just the way his skin tones are presented when he shoots it. I mean, I know it's the cameras, all that stuff, and grading, but the way he composes his shots, the way he does everything as a DP, it's just flawless, I believe. And Arrival, that's a good one he did. What else did he do? What else? Let's look again. I'm blanking out. I'm just really excited, tired a little bit. He did Selma. I don't know if anyone saw that. And he did A Most Violent Year, and Arrival was the other one that's great. Those are the 3 that are really his top-notch, well-known movies, I should say. But I love Bradford Young. I think he's great. He's a great cinematographer. I think he's going to win an Academy Award soon, if not within the next 5 years. Not for this movie, obviously, but because it's too late or too early in the Oscar seasons to even be thinking Oscars at all for cinematography. Again, Ron Howard did a great job directing this movie. I can now see a Ron Howard film and know what a Ron Howard film is, especially if you have watched his masterclass. Shout out to that masterclass with Ron Howard. It is a great masterclass, and I highly recommend that. If you do have masterclass, by the way, it is phenomenal. What else can I tell you about this movie? So it was written actually by Lawrence Kasdan, who has written, I believe it was the other Star Wars films, like are everyone's favorite, Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. He also wrote Raiders of the Lost Ark and another classic. he wrote The Force Awakens too, even though that's not everyone's favorite movie. He still wrote that, but he wrote the other two movies that were great, Empire and Return of the Jedi, even though some people don't like Return of the Jedi that much. I do. It's in my top 5. I guess you'd say. And obviously, Raiders of the Lost Ark is probably one of the greatest movies of all time as well, which he was written also. So, where are we? Okay, so let's talk about the movie some more. It's interesting to see his backstory. Well, it was great to see his backstory. Han Solo, not all characters need great backstory, but I think this presents it in a good way of who he is. It's cool how he met Chewbacca. I like that a lot. Just overall, it was I think it was great. It was just like something. Well, holy shit. I'm sorry. I'm like reading other things at the same time while talking to you guys. And fun fact, this movie was $250 million to make. Probably because of the reshoots, but that's just me. Yeah. So wow, one of the most expensive films ever made. That's as much as I believe the first Infinity War, if I'm not mistaken. Hey, Jamarco, what is up, brother? How are you today, or this morning, or whatever time it is? Excuse me. So basically, let's go. Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino, aka the Man, aka the Myth, aka the Legend, aka This Is America, was phenomenal as Lando Calrissian. Mr. Billy D. Williams, he sounded like, to me, it was nice to see that. I liked it a lot, and it was awesome to hear those mannerisms as Lando. He did a great job as Lando Calrissian, and I would love to see him as well in the sequel to Solo as well. Which, funny, I would love to ask you all this question right now. Would it be called Solo 2 or Duo, a Star Wars film? Because Solo is just by itself. So that is the question I have for you all right there. Is it going to be called Duo, a Star Wars film? Also, on top of that too, it's going to be interesting because if it does have a sequel, which it does, I think this should be a trilogy, to be honest, as well. Let's not get it twisted. I think it would be great to see that. I don't know exactly how long it takes place between episode 3 and 4, but I think there is some time, not a lot of time, but there's enough time that you can tell 2 more stories into this franchise for the Han Solo stuff, especially with him going to Tatooine at the end. Probably see Jabba the Hutt as a crew, which should be really fascinating, because then we'll get to see maybe Boba Fett as well, which can spin off to a Boba Fett movie. And then also maybe we can also see Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yes, I said it myself, Obi-Wan. Because if we all saw the movie, we'd all understand that Darth Maul, again, is in the movie at the end for a brief second, which shocked the shit out of me, which I did read, which I always do all the time. I read the Wikipedias to every friggin' movie before I see it. I don't know why I do that, but it was something I do because I like to, I don't know, I don't like surprises, I guess. So yeah, you can't blame me there. Who likes really surprises? You want to be prepared for every aspect of life. And you want to go into everything reading and knowing what you are going to see, because guess what? The element of surprise is not a good thing all the time, because sometimes you're going to be really pissed off, and sometimes you're going to be like, well, what the shit? Or sometimes you read something on the end and you're like, oh, that sounds cool. And then you see it in real life and you're like, holy shit, this was a lot better than what I thought it was. Yes. So this movie can split off at the end into, let me tell you this. The movie can split off at the end because you still have Emilia Clarke. I believe that was, I couldn't really tell if that was her or not, but she's in this movie, which it is her. It did not look like her for a second when she was younger, but it was really cool to see her. Sarah Connor, just kidding. She's not really Sarah Connor, but she did look like Linda Hamilton a little bit. But I'm sorry, I'm a little hyper, by the way, everyone. I know it's 1:30 in the morning, but I shouldn't be hyper this much. But again, I was very excited about this film after seeing it. I need to tell everyone about this movie. So, again, I'm going to talk about the ending really, because I'm not going to tell the whole plot, but the ending does give away spoilers. Paul Bettany dies. Bye, hi. Yes, I said that. Paul Bettany dies. And what is this, the year of Paul Bettany again? Jesus Christ. Fucking Vision. Fucking this guy. Sorry, I'm cursing. But like, seriously, like 2 great roles. and it's awesome to see him at. And now I can't ever see him again as no one else besides the Vision. It's great to see Paul Bettany's having a good year this year so far. And then, like I said, at the end, it's like he's going to Tatooine for a gangster who's planning a heist or getting a crew together for a heist. Obviously, that is none other than Jabba the Hutt. It has to be, unless like there's some other weird shit going on that we're missing out, that I don't know about, that you don't know about, that you don't know about, that you don't know about. But overall, the second movie will be killer as well. I think it's gonna be a great movie. I think this first one was a great movie. Again, I said it in the beginning of the podcast / live cast, whatever you want to call this, that this was my favorite Star Wars film to date. At the moment of this reaction video, this was my favorite Star Wars film to date because it had everything I was looking for in a Star Wars film. And I'm sorry again if you are watching this right now, I'm spoiling things for you. Spoilers all around. But at the same time, this movie has been out for 3 days already, or 4 days already, if you think about it. So calm your titties. If you haven't seen it, go see it right now because you need to see it as we speak. Okay, so like I've been saying, the sequel is going to set up. Well, the end of the movie sets up the sequel, which is probably Jabba the Hutt. We're going to meet Boba Fett next time. We're going to probably develop more of the relationship of Lando and Han, which I think is going to blossom a lot more. You see the Chewie Han dynamic works more and better, and you just see the chemistry grow with them. They had great chemistry, and it's funny now that you understand that Han knew what Chewbacca spoke, which was really cool. It's like, oh well, I knew that. I took it. It's like he's not guessing or shit like that. It's like, oh well, I took a Wookiee class or whatever to understand what he's talking about. So basically, again, Darth Maul is in this movie at the end, which again surprises me. I guess if you read the Star Wars or saw that Star Wars Clone Saga or Clone Wars, whatever one it was, he is in the movie. He's in the TV show as well. So again, I don't watch that, and I don't know how many people watch that as well. Holy shit, my nose itches. If I guess I may have to start watching this to understand some more, but if that's going to take off the same way, you have to tie up your loose ends, and having that like shit right there, you got to have loose ends, obviously. And if you bring back Darth Maul, obviously you have to kill him, obviously, because he's nowhere in 4, 5, and 6. So if this all leads up to 4, 5, and 6, then we all know what happens. I think the third movie should end before the fourth movie starts again, like they did with Rogue One, which would be fucking phenomenal. Again, I'm sorry I'm cursing everyone. I apologize. I'm going to be a good Christian boy and not curse for you all anymore. Okay, I kid. But yeah, I think if anything, there's 2 movies, like the solo one and the second solo one. No third one then too, if anything too as well. But I think they're gonna go for the 3. You have to go for the 3. I feel like if you go for the 2, you're not really gonna I feel like they're gonna try and milk it for what it's worth and all it's worth. Again, the 2 will set up a Boba Fett movie, and it will set up an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, because if Darth Maul's again in the sequel, obviously he's gonna be in there for the sequel, a bigger role, a bigger character, and Emilia Clarke's character has to die as well, because if it's Han's love, well, yeah, now that I think about it, I'm going off on a tangent again, but I apologize. If you think about it, okay, so Emilia Clarke has to die. So her character has to die because Han loves her. Han is in love with her, and she loves Han as well. So how that would work, let's just talk about this for a second. How it would work. Okay, so she dies in the second one. Obviously, a big dark ending, I guess you would say, for that second movie. And then the third movie can actually delve into his, cockier manner and like not as attachment to people besides Chewie as, that can grow more into it, or, just have her die halfway into the second one and then you can pull all that shit off too. I think they have to go for a second one. They really have to. I feel like you can't just end it that way and not have all those loose ends tied up, because you want to know what happens now in between, what happens after Solo and what happens up to New Hope. let's see if there's anything on the wiki that says, oh, possible sequels. Okay. Oh, so he does have a sequel. Alden Eldrick has a contract that appears in 2 additional films, giving the studio an option to pursue the sequel, which I just said, or featuring him in other anthology films in supporting capacity. Eldrick said he would like any sequels to differentiate themselves from the previous Star Wars trilogy by being a standalone or in vein of Indiana Jones or James Bond instead of a direct follow-up. Critics note the film intention. Yep, it does leave it. It would include. Also, John Kasdan, Lawrence Kasdan's son, who wrote the movie with his father, said he would like to include a bounty hunter, Bozic, who appeared in episode 5 and was mentioned by Val and Solo. And if you were to write a sequel for the film, also said. So we also could be getting a Lando Calrissian Solo movie, which I don't know how I feel about that. Welcome, Kelsey, to my podcast on Instagram. And we are talking about Solo, a Star Wars film. Solo, a Star Wars film. Basically, I was gonna say, okay, so Lando Calrissian in the movie would pretty all right. I wouldn't like want to see it, but I probably would see it, and I'd probably be just as happy seeing it at the same time as seeing this. So I'm not amped, but this movie might be getting me amped for it. Like I said, again, I loved Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino, aka the man, aka the myth, aka the legend, aka This Is America. And I would love to see a Lando Calrissian movie also. I'd probably love to see him. I'd love to see all the good Star Wars sequels, to be honest. I think it'd be great. Well, not all Star Wars sequels. I mean, all the spin-off sequels that you can make from this movie alone. Like I said, you can make Han Solo sequel, obviously, which can introduce Boba Fett, which can introduce Obi-Wan, which can introduce a very interesting ending for the Obi-Wan, not to go into the Obi-Wan movie, especially, sorry, John, if you didn't see the movie, I'm going to spoil it for you right now, so you might want to not watch it or mute this for like the next 30 seconds. If you end the Solo movie, the second one, with Darth Maul, and then you end it somehow where Obi-Wan shows up and he knows Maul is coming for him, or Maul finds out that Obi-Wan is still alive, I think that would be a great movie, to be honest, because then you can see this epic battle and this, like, I think that lightsaber battle between Obi-Wan and Darth Maul would be 20 times better than the Phantom Menace and 30 times better than the fucking Revenge of the Sith, which literally lasted, 30 minutes to make a Star Wars battle Jedi lightsaber thing. So I think that should be, honestly, the next 2 movies. Solo, you make that Solo 2, you make that Obi-Wan movie, and you call it a day at the moment, and you're going to make a shit ton of cash, Disney. Listen to me right now. You're going to make a shit ton of cash when you make that Obi-Wan movie, because you're going to want everyone and their mother seeing Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul 2. And it's going to be epic. But, okay, anyone else have any questions about Star Wars, a Solo, a Star Wars film? Let's talk some more. Let's talk. Let's keep it open. Let's discuss. Anyone not like the movie? Anyone? Bueller? No. All right. Well, anyway, Solo again was great. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I enjoyed it tremendously. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. It was way beyond my expectations. You should go see it. I definitely recommend it. I did go see it with MoviePass. If you don't have MoviePass, I highly recommend MoviePass, by the way. $9.99 a month to see unlimited movies. Only one time, though, a day. Only once that you see that movie. So you can't see Infinity War 2 times, or like this movie 2 times with MoviePass. So enjoy it while it's still around. And like I said, $9.99 a month, MoviePass. You can literally go see a new movie every day. And then be like, okay, guess what? I don't have to buy a movie ticket. I can buy a little bit more popcorn. Instead of buying the small, I can buy a medium. Instead of buying the large drink, instead of buying the medium drink, I can buy a large drink. You can now spend a little bit more dough on the concessions, which is nice. I'm shilling right now for MoviePass. I'm sorry I'm looking all over the place because I'm on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Again, if you want to watch me on YouTube, it is youtube.com/food that kills. That is probably where the best audio is coming from right now because I am hooked up with my audio gear to my computer, or I should say laptop, on YouTube. So yes, please, if you hear it really weird and distorted audio or really loud audio, I am apologizing again. Please watch it on YouTube. I'm watching my levels right now and I'm speaking way below red. Again, let's wrap up. I'm going to wrap up actually right now because I don't have any much more to say. I know you guys are probably sick of hearing me right now too. Let's go over this again. Ron Howard, great. Also, again, Clint Howard, like always, like clockwork, like butter on bread, was in a Ron Howard film as well. And again, this was probably the best Ron Howard, probably in the last, hold on, let me check this out real quick too. Sorry, we're not really wrapping this up. I just lied a little bit. I'm going to go on a little bit more tangent over here. Ron Howard. What was his last movie? No, he was the executive Beatles. Donald. Holy crap! When was the last Ron Howard directed film? Directed. Okay, so he did Inferno, which I don't think was good. I didn't see it, but I've heard a lot of things. Heart of the Sea wasn't. See, like the last Ron Howard film I saw was probably Angels and Demons. That was the last one I saw of from Ron Howard's collection. Other than that, I haven't really seen any other Ron Howard films in a while. Like I should see Rush. I heard that was good. Again, he used Chris. Actually, holy shit! Just realized this now. Rush, and then he made In the Heart of the Sea. 2 movies with Chris Hemsworth. Is Chris Hemsworth Ron Howard's guy? That's my question now to you all. Is Chris Hemsworth Ron Howard's guy? Is Chris Hemsworth also going to retire, by the way? I heard reports about that as well, which should be interesting. Hopefully, he just, takes a year or 2 off. Don't have to do anything. He does have to do reshoots for Avengers 4, which comes out next year, which everyone, I'm not going to talk about Infinity War right now. Can't talk about Infinity War because Infinity War was that damn good and I have no complaints, but I do have some theories. And maybe I'll talk about that another time. But we're talking about Solo, a Star Wars film right now, and everything in between, and how this was, again, the best Star Wars film to date, hands down, right now, saying it, boom, better than The Last Jedi, which again, I did not like. And I thought it was like a burger that you ate and you don't feel full. I'm looking at Burger King. Yes, I'm looking at right now. And then on top of that too, again, this movie I did not look forward to. It was kind of like, I'll go see it. Again, usually a movie I'll see any movie. Typically, if I'm really interested in it, I'll go see it the first night and didn't see this till Sunday night, which I got out like half hour ago. So again, great movie. Loved it. Wonderful. I'm kind of giving some spoilers away. I'm also kind of not trying to say much of the plot because I don't want to give too much away. But I kind of gave you spoiler alert again, the ending to the movie. Paul Bettany dies. And then Emilia Clarke lives. Han Solo lives. Chewbacca dies. Just kidding. He lives. Woody Harrelson's character, I love, by the way, Tobias Funke. He was great. I think that was a really cool character. I kind of wish he was going to be alive still for the sequel. Yes, he died. At the same time, did I miss something and blinked? Because was it if you saw it, the movie, what was it? There is a part where you're seeing the standoff, right? And it's kind of like the who shot first, Han or Greedo thing. And obviously, I'm guessing Han shot him, but you didn't really see it in the frame. So it must have been that quick and blinked, or I just blinked and I missed the whole thing completely because I was like, what the fuck just happened? And I was like, what? Did he obviously shot first then. So that was my whole thing at the same time. And then on top of that too, we need to see the classic yellow shirt of Han's as well, if I'm not mistaken. Wasn't it a classic yellow shirt that he was at the bar with the vest too? So we need to see that Han Solo. We have him in the jacket that he had at The Force Awakens. I don't want to see that. I want to see the clothes that I saw him in A New Hope. Hopefully we'll see that in the sequel. Hopefully we'll get some great sequel moments. We'll get Bradford Young back as DP. Hopefully we'll get Ron Howard again directing that film. again, Ron Howard coming in to direct that movie after the Philip Lord and Chris Miller got fired, and really putting his own spin and unique stance on it. I would love to see that footage, by the way, of the Philip Lord and Chris Miller stuff, but I don't know if we're ever gonna get that. Maybe we'll get that on the DVD Blu-ray, but I don't think so. If anyone knows of a leak somewhere, please share that. I would love to see that shit, because that would be really interesting just to compare apples to oranges or apples to apples. What those guys did compared to Ron Howard. What did Ron Howard keep? What did Ron Howard take out? There's so many questions I now have about those two guys and what they filmed. If I can get my hands on the daily somehow, I will do anything to see those dailies. Not really. What else about this movie? Again, Bradford Young, great. Alden Eldrick, great as Han Solo. Again, you probably will be like, that's not Han Solo. That doesn't look like Harrison Ford. Give it like 10 minutes, and then you're like, okay, this guy is Han Solo. Think of it like James Bond, guys. When you go to see James Bond and you don't see Pierce Brosnan anymore, and you see Daniel Craig, or you don't see Daniel Craig anymore and you see someone else play James Bond, you're going to be like, oh, that's James Bond. Guys, just deal with it. This happens all the time in movies. Don't complain about the little things like that, because you're going to not enjoy it for yourself. And also, go to the movies. Don't go in open-minded. I know I told you I read the Wikipedias, but at the same time, I go into these movies always open-minded. Remember, this is escape from reality. You have to escape from reality for 2.5 hours, most likely, if that is the case for any movie. Depending on how long it is, you will be escaping from reality for this movie, because, again, realism at the movies is not always what we want to see. That's just another complaint about life in general, about my movies and how I feel about them. Okay, so we're going to wrap this up, and I'm going to suggest a movie tonight to you guys, because you should all see this movie, but I'm going to see this as soon as possible, because I need to see this, because I just heard about it, and I just been seeing it every time I go to Barnes & Noble, and I've been watching some videos about it lately too. It's called A Night to Remember. Apparently, it's the best Titanic movie ever. I know that's random as shit right now, telling you about a Titanic movie when we just went from Solo, a Star Wars film, but this movie is apparently the definitive, like, basically there's cues that James Cameron's Titanic took from that movie, so you know it's good. And apparently it's probably better than friggin' Titanic in 97 with James Cameron's Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet, which I think someone was saying online, the only thing that's added to the James Cameron movie is the love story between Leo and Kate Winslet. So I'm kind of curious to watch Night to Remember. I'm probably going to pick it up next time I go to Barnes & Noble. Again, the Criterion Collection is great. I love the Criterion Collection. I never talked about it before on the podcast, live stream, whatever, in the last 33 minutes of doing this, but randomly I'm just telling you this now because I need to. But again, I'll give you another movie for shits and giggles to see tonight. Willow. If anyone has seen Willow from Ron Howard, I haven't seen that movie in such a long time. But the reason why I point this out is because Ron Howard might be in talks to do a sequel to Willow, which I'm kind of curious of how that would go, because I don't know. It's been like a long time. And to buy that movie right now on DVD on Amazon, it's like a shit ton of money. It's like $137 just to get the Blu-ray. Can you believe that? It's crazy. Like, I'm like, holy shit, guys. I don't need to spend $137 or whatever it is for this damn Blu-ray. So I'm going to try to find it on Amazon Prime or something like that. Or like, Netflix if ever it comes across. But Willow sequel would be very interesting. And on top of that, I saw that at a very young age. And around the same time, I probably saw Willy Wonka. And I was scared shitless of Willy Wonka and Return to Oz. So like, I saw Willow, Return to Oz, and Willy Wonka all around the same age of 2 and 3. I know I'm now going into a tangent about other things. But I'll now try to wrap around to why I mentioned Willow, and the whole Willow 2 thing. But but real quick tangent side note is, so when you're younger, when you watch Willy Wonka when you're 2 years old, and you see like people, I guess that small claustrophobic room of like them shrinking and stuff, that one that has the zebra prints, that scared the shit out of me as a child. And you could never watch Willy Wonka probably until I was in 5th grade. So that was a long time. And then Return to Oz scared the shit out of me, but it always kept me like wanting to see it again when Mombi took off her head and she like put on another head, and that scared me. That scarred me as a child. And then Willow, I think I was really too young to watch Willow, but that movie scared me too. And I don't think I ever watched the whole thing through. But the reason why I mentioned those movies, well, mostly Willow Tangent, is because so Woodrick Davis is actually in this movie. He's actually shown. He's not a character of like a Ewok or R2D2 now, because I think he does that as well. He's just himself. He's not himself, but he is an actual human being in this movie. A short human, obviously he's short, but like he is a human being in this movie, and it was really cool to see him. And it's like, oh well, Ron Howard, maybe a homage to Wardrick because he's in a lot of Star Wars films when they need him. But maybe it's also like, hey, I used him specifically because we're going to think about doing a Willow too. That's where my theory is too on that, which should be interesting as well. If we do that, I would love to see that. I don't know how you're going to continue that. Hopefully Val Kilmer will be in that movie too. But at the same time, please, Val Kilmer, if you're listening to this, which you're not, same way you are my Jim Morrison. Val Kilmer, if you hear me, you are my Jim Morrison. Also, the music to this movie was great too, by the way. This was not just John Williams, but John Powell as well. I think John Williams just did the Han Solo theme and the original Star Wars music. I know I said that I'm going to wrap this up like 20 different times, but I'm like just remembering things. I'm reading off stuff from the Wikipedia. And to be honest, I'm going to go into another tangent probably right now, but I don't think John Williams is the best composer. I'm saying that right now. I'm going to hear a lot of flack from people, but I guess it's me, but like whenever I hear a John Williams score or a John Williams theme, I can hear 20 different movies that he did that it's like, oh, that's John Williams too. Like I can hear a little bit of Home Alone in it. I can hear a little bit of Hook in it. I can hear a little bit of Raiders in it. I can hear a little bit more Indiana Jones in it. I can hear all these different pieces of like different things that he uses the same stuff. I don't understand why you guys think he's great, but he's not like the best. Like, I mean, yeah, Stuart Man's its own thing in its own right. Jaws, its own thing in its own right. Great pieces of music. But if you really, I will point this out to people next time. I will defend my fucking place right now with this shit. But John Williams, besides Jaws, let me check real quick because I can tell you which ones I know for a fact that all sound the same to me. Okay, one second. List the compositions. No, I just want to know his films. Okay, let's go this. Okay, we have, I know John Williams done a shit ton of music. I mean, Poseidon Adventures, that's fine. But like the ones I know for a fact that sound the same to me, Star Wars is unique, Superman unique, E.T., but if you listen to it closely, you can hear the same stuff, to be honest, in a lot of his work. I just wish it was sometimes, he just did a little bit more maybe. But like, again, you can hear Hook pieces from the movie Hook in Home Alone 2 or, some other John Williams movie. And I can point this out to you again. Like I said, I will do that for you guys if someone wants to prove me wrong, because I will try to prove you wrong as well and show you that I am right, because I'm never always right. I am half the time right, not always. I am humble, and I'll stay humble for the rest of my life. Maybe I won't. Who knows? But I will stay humble forever, because I don't know what the hell I just did. Yeah, let's get off this right now, because I'm 40 minutes of rambling and talking about Solo, a Star Wars film, and how awesome it was. Again, it was my favorite Star Wars film to date, guys. Again, I am your host with the most, John DeMarco. If you don't know me, now you know me. And hey, to quote my friend The Grain, you don't go against it. Peace out, Cub Scouts. Bye.